Greetings everybody and welcome to this new tutorial. Today we are going to talk about the QT signal and slot mechanism. But what is the signal and slot mechanism? Well, it is simply a way for objects to communicate with each other. In this concept, we have the signals. A signal is emitted by an object when a particular event occurs. For example, when if a button is clicked. On the other side, we have a slot. Generally, slots are functions that are called in response to a signal. And in between, we have the syntax to connect a signal with a slot. Okay, so for this concept, you have to keep in mind that multiple signals can be connected to a single slot. A single signal can be connected to multiple slots. And finally, signals can be connected to other signals so that it can create a chain of events. Okay, now let's see how this mechanism works. Okay, so we have our project. So in this class, we have an object class called my object, and then you can see that my object class has sections for signals and slot. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is that for any queue object to be able to implement signals and slot, we need this special macro queue object. We use the queue object macro in order to be able to implement signals and slot. Okay, let's see how it works. So first of all, in the signal section, I will declare a new function. Let's say void new message, for example. Also, I will create another function void um, new message available, and then inside the function I will add the parameter that correspond to that function. It's a string, your string message, and I will create a slot but I will do it in as private. So private slot void message available. And void print new message. Your string message. Okay, so this is a simple example. Now I will have to implement all the slots in the CPP file. I can do it by doing a right click, refactor, add definition, and also right click refactor, add definition. Okay, so these are a few signals that I've declared here, and also some slots. Now, how to connect them? So let's see, before writing the connection method, let's see the syntax. So this is the syntax. We have connect object one, signal one, object two, slot one. Connect object one, signal one, object two, slot two. So in this syntax, we are connecting a single signals to multiple slots. So we also have connect object one, signals two, object four, slot one. Okay, now let's implement it. Let's go in the CPP file in the constructor. We have generally three ways of implementing it. I will I will start with the first, the most common syntax. So connect the object sender. Who's the sender? My object. So this. What is the signal? You first write the macro signal, and then you can search for the signals. If it's not available, you will just write the name of the function. What is the signal? New message. Copy it like this. You add it inside the signal, and now the receiver is still my object. So this slot message available, message available. So this is the first way to write it, but this syntax is already kind of deprecated. We can also write like this: connect object this. Now my object, new message, receiver this, still my object, that message available. So these are the two ways of writing it. So now there is a few difference between both. There's a few difference between both. For example, if one of each signals have to insert a certain parameter inside the function, the slot must also have the same parameter. For example, let's say new message available. Let's try with this. For example, the most common method, the most recent method to implement signal and slot, connect this signal, new message available, this slot print new message. So this line is the old syntax. Sorry, I have just made a mistake. It's not the new way of writing it. But this is the old syntax of implementing, the old way of implementing signal and slot when there is a parameter. When there is a parameter, you can see in comparison with the one with this first line, line 5, we have inserted the type that the signals and the slot exchange. So you just need to add the type. Now let's write it in the new syntax. Connect this my object new message, no, new message available, sorry, then this my object print new message. So as you can see, with the new syntax type, you don't need to pass any type, any parameters type between the senders and the receiver. So it will automatically include it in comparison with the old syntax. Okay. Now, how to call a signal? So you just use emit the signal name. Let's try with new message available. New message available and hello world, for example. And I will first of all comment this line. Now, when new message available is called, we have print new message. So let's print it UGBird. And we print the message. Now I will make a quick include of the object class in the main class so that it can run. Object.h, then I call it like this. Object. Then let's see how it looks like. So you can see on the console that it has printed the hello world. That means that signal uh, has been executed. Also, the signals and slot mechanism is not only to object. can also apply to elements like Windows and like buttons, like labels, like text edit. There are also signal and slot for such objects. Let's see, for example, for a text edit element, if you do a right click, you will when you select go to slot, you can see the different signals. Copy available, selection change, text change. So these are some simple signals, and we can try maybe with the line edit. You do a right click, go to slot, let's say text change, and then we print, just call the slot. So you can see as I change the text, just print. So this is really a wonderful mechanism that Qt has implemented. Okay, guys, that was all for today's tutorial. I look forward to seeing you for the next training session.